musical influence for me with Persian artists who did a lot of stuff that I performed along with Omar Farouk, and of course Wardruna is also a major influence. Gabby?
When it comes to our style of music?
What influence your music?
In general, but yeah.
Personal music inspiration. Personal music inspiration is really difficult because I'm one of those that really listens to everything. Like, I grew up on John Denver and the Dixie Chicks, and then went to Avril Lavigne and Blink-182 and Green Day, and then progressed into, like, Need to Remember and The Used. Like, my three, like, favorite bands, I guess, would be The Used, John Mayer, and the Dixie Chicks. So there's that. But when it comes to personal musical, like, inspiration, for what we're doing, my biggest musical inspiration is our close friend Suge, S.J. Chucker. Like, the stuff that she puts out in the world.
Suge is our hero.
She is most definitely my hero. So she's not listening at the moment because she's busy being amazing.
Being our influence and such.
Yeah. But, from a writing perspective, from a woman perspective, from a vocalist perspective, she's everything that I hope to be in 10 years, 5 years if possible, but I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna keep my hopes up too high. I've got a lot to learn still.
Yeah, I'm trying to get wrong band. I'm trying to get Serge onto the show and get her feedback on musicians. So it'd be kind of awesome to hear her feedback. So I'm working on that one.
Cool. Neil?
I'd say there are lots of interesting older folk rock influences like Steel Eye Span, Silly Wizard, the Corys is another inspiration of mine. I gotta say though, my greatest inspiration has been my father, to tell the truth. He is such an amazing musician. He was the first great musician I ever met. Being my dad, he was around all the time. And he's one of the best guitarists I've ever met. He plays fiddle, and he's influenced pretty much everything I do is music-wise. So, yeah, I'd have to say it's my dad, John Townley.
Cool. Very nice.
Danny?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go. Oh, God. It would have to be with one of the first bands I ever saw and heard. Not live, but it would have to be one of the drummers from Motley Crue. He was just really cool. I actually really liked him. But people that I know personally would have to be my mom, and one of them that I really hate to admit is my dad. So, yeah. Chase, you want to go?
Yeah. Like Gabby, I try and find influence everywhere. And I had that being raised on country music background, and my dad listened to a lot of Kiss and Johnny Cash. So it's hard for me not to say that I am a member of the Kiss Nation. But I also had that teenage angst where I was like, I still know every word to quite a few Fall Out Boy songs, and but as far as music for our band, I think Illuvite, if I'm pronouncing that right, they are a band that I listen to what they do, and maybe they're a little try-hard for what we're trying to do. Trying to do too much, but I think that's somewhere we could easily be, like, tomorrow. I'm not even lying. So I try and catch a lot of things that they're doing, and but yeah, I try and get influences from everything I listen to. I've been really hooked on also to this song by Chris Stapleton called Parachute, which is
I love that one.
Which is totally a country song.
I don't listen to country, but I totally love that
song. I'm getting the air guitar in my face.
She likes it though. She totally likes it though.
You should talk about Dogwood. Actually, Dogwood's been a huge
Oh my God, Kate
McKnight.
I know she's probably not here, but I have such a music crush on her. I have the biggest toner for her, music boner.
And she knows it. We talk about it whenever she's here.
I told it to her face about my toner for her. And
that was one of my favorite Fairy Worlds moments was our performance on the second stage, and I spontaneously called her up on stage to tambourine because she's phenomenal at it.
And then she stood by me.
The goosebumps.
Oh my God.
Ooh.
The look on his face.
That wasn't the only look, but that's another thing. Nathaniel Johnstone Band. I bought we played a show in Port Townsend with them, and I was watching them at the show, and I bought 3 of their CDs. That's a lot of fucking money. Sorry for the language.
Well, Super Geek League taught us that everybody gets 5.
Yes.
They're changing up their sound a little bit. They're going under Dogwood and Johnstone now. So go ahead and look that up on Facebook and follow that progress because it's totally different than the Nathaniel Johnstone Band and has a lot more original material, and I'm really excited about it.
But yeah,
See, everybody, that's an endorsement from Rogue's End. Everybody, if you're listening, go check that out right now. Do it right now.
There was one song she wrote about that Kate wrote about the prettiest little star, and it was a song inspired by when David Bowie passed. And it was it was such an interesting song. The guitar felt so much like AC/DC, and just the lyrics were. She talked to me about the process of how they came up with the lyrics for that song, and they just started writing phrases and then basically mashed random phrases and mashed them all together into this song, a game of Scrabble of songwriting. And like Abby said, it sounds like fun. Sounds like a lot of fun. And just talking to her about the process of that, and I don't think she's too much older than me, a year or two.
You're 30.
No, I'm not 30. God.
Right, just a beard.
And I totally have a lot of inspiration from her and that band, and that's that. Sorry. Okay, I'll stop. Totally. And oh my God,
Crush. She has a musical crush.
It's a real crush. Yeah. Whatever.
Okay, do we get everybody, or is there still one more we're missing?
I think we got everybody.
We got through that one really fast.
Actually, yeah, we did. Yep. All right, maybe we can squeeze out the last question from the chat room.
Okay.
Karina, real quickly. So, what is your favorite original song you have written?
Okay, for me, it is Robert's song "Wings." That one really means a lot to me personally. As I mentioned earlier, I started with Robert as a belly dancer performer, and that was one of the pieces that he played specifically for me when I danced with Isis Wings, and it was just very soul resonating and very freeing. And then the lyrics came into play, and with Gabby's vocals behind it, it's even more magical and powerful than it was then. So for me, it's definitely Wings.
That was the first original song that I got to learn.
Yeah.
Being part of the band. I was there as Robert was finishing up the lyrics in the shed out at the old property.
Yep. Yeah, I remember that. So,
I should go.
Yeah, your turn, Danny. Our favorite original song.
Our favorite original. Well, my personal favorite, in my opinion, calm down. So, would have to be Clockwork. We haven't played that in a while, but I just really like it. It's just pretty cool. I think it was Gabby that made it. Yeah.
No, Robert wrote it.
Robert wrote it. Okay, yeah. I get it confused, but yeah, Clockwork.
I just sing it.
Clockwork was one of my favorites. So, yeah.
Okay. Chase?
That's like a threefold question for me. Because I have...
the answer for you.
Okay, so you want to hold on to that and come back to it?
No, I'll come to it now.
Okay.
Because that's how much I like those songs. But it's so hard because, like, we have a song called Trondheim that I'm so connected to because that's where my family's from. Robert and I, like, kind of... He started playing a song at the Midsummer Renaissance Fair in Washington. And I was like, okay, let's start playing this. And I caught it like, bam! And that's because his and my family descended from the same place in Norway. But then I'm also really connected to our song, Greenwood Tree. The song's like, dance, dance, come along and dance with me. That song. Because that is just a blast to play. But my number one absolute favorite song is Maiden Mother Crone. And because it's... I mean, you listen to all of our other songs, and we are these... We're just... Every song we do is like, go, 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 dance, 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 sweat your ass off. And this song is like...
It's magical.
Yeah, it's magical, it's dynamic, it really shows how...
It's magical, and it's empowering, and it's beautiful.
And even beyond that, how our music can speak more than any of our words that are very powerful. And that's the biggest thing for me about that song. And not being a woman, it sounds so strange that the song about the maiden and the mother and the crone, how can that be so meaningful to me? It has frankly, it has nothing to do with those concepts, but it has everything to do with the musicality of it all, and that is a beautiful thing to me. And I find that to be a very empowering idea.
In the practice sessions, Chase kept harmonizing to Gabby before we had the other two female vocalists that joined us. And at a certain point, we came to realize that there's nothing wrong with that.
He sings it so beautifully.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with any voice joining in the celebration of every factor of a woman's existence.
Mm-hmm. Great.
We pass it on to Kleenex now.
A little bit, yeah. Damn.
Personally, my favorite at the moment is Lunar Waltz. That's the one I love the most. I know it sounds ridiculous considering that we've built a reputation on all these heavy party songs, but
He's really just a softie, but
Lunar
don't tell
Waltz.
anybody.
Lunar Waltz is not a soft. It's just we channeled that power in a different fashion. It's still powerful. We just channeled it differently.
Yeah. Neil?
I'm gonna go with 2, which is Lunar Waltz, because I can't get it out of my freaking head.
Me too. Neil.
I'm constantly humming that song.
Be a song now.
And Maiden Mother Crone. I after writing the words for that, then listening to Gabby perform it, it just shocks me that those words. I somehow came up with those words, which it just doesn't feel that way. It just feels like those words were inspired from somewhere else, and it's very surreal, and I love it, and I love to hear it. So.
Awesome.
Is it my turn?
Yep.
I've got another hour.
I know we do. Oh my goodness. When it comes to original songs, writing original things for the band has been one of the most personally beneficial things for me being able